Hey scholars, you've learned how to build games in Python, built websites with JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and even explored how artificial intelligence works using Python. Now it's time to level up and add one more powerful language to your toolbox. We're going to learn Object Pascal. So why Pascal? Because it teaches you how compiled languages work. And that's a game changer. Unlike Python and JavaScript, Pascal compiles your code into a fast standalone program that doesn't need an interpreter to run. That means your games and apps will launch lightning fast and feel more like desktop applications. We're going to use the Lazarus IDE, a free and open source visual programming tool similar to Visual Studio Code that we've used in the past. And we're going to combine that with the Castle game engine. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install that software on your computers. So first, what I want you to do is actually open up a terminal. And from here, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. I want you to, if you have Lazarus already installed, to uninstall it. This is probably not the case on your machine, but if it is, I want you to uninstall it because I want you to install the newest version of Lazarus. So to uninstall Lazarus, you're going to type in sudo dnf remove Lazarus. You just press Y to uninstall everything related to Lazarus. Again, you might not have this installed, but I want to make sure you don't have an older version for when we go to the next step. All right, now that is uninstalled, we are going to grab Lazarus from the internet. So I'm open up a browser, do a search here for Lazarus IDE Linux. Press enter. These are the first couple things that should show up. You can either click download here or download here. It'll take you to the download page. And the version of Lazarus that I want you to install, since we're using Fedora, is Lazarus x86-64. Okay, so we're gonna click here and we want to download these three files, these three RPM files. So you can left click and then open this up in a new tab, open this up in a new tab, and then open this up in a new tab. And once you go here to these tabs, you'll see that they will start downloading, and you'll see all three of them downloading here. Okay, once they're all done, you should see the progression circle disappear. Now you can close the browser because we don't need it for anything else. That should have downloaded to the download directory. So you can cd into the download directory. I'm just going to clear a screen here, and those three files should be there. We are going to do a sudo dnf install.fpc star ./fpc source star and ./laz star to install all of those packages. And you'll see that it checked some dependencies, and we're also going to install gtk2 devel to install these packages. Just type yes to install. Okay, once you're finished installing the newest version of Lazarus and free Pascal, and for me on this day while I'm installing it, the newest version is 4.2 of Lazarus and 3.22 for free Pascal. Might be different for you when you're watching this video and trying to install it. Once you're done doing that, we're actually going to start up Lazarus and do some configurations that will help us for the rest of this series. So type in Laz here to open up Lazarus. Now, as I said, I had an older version of Lazarus installed. This is just a warning that the application is going to convert it into a new version. You might not get this pop-up if you didn't have it installed. I'm just going to click update info here, and I'm going to click upgrade to the newer version of Lazarus, the configuration to the newest version of Lazarus. Regardless of whether or not you had it installed or not, you will get this pop-up. You want to click on Modern IDE, single window, and Modern Form Editor. This will make Lazarus work a little bit closer to Visual Studio Code, which you are more familiar with. If you have it in classic version, it'll look like an older version of, say, GIMP with separate windows. All right, so now we can start the IDE. And what I want you to do first is actually create a projects folder for our Pascal projects. So you're going to say new project, and you're going to just do a simple program for right now. It's going to clear out this GUI program, which is the example that is loaded when you started the program. And we're going to save this program and also create the folder structure that we need. So inside of our projects folder, I want you to create a folder here called Pascal, and we're going to save all our Pascal projects in here. And because Pascal is different than Python or JavaScript, there are actually a lot of files related to each project. We're going to create a folder for each project inside of the Pascal folder. So I'm going to create a folder called Hello World for this project, and I'm going to call the project Hello World. So it's going to be saved inside the hello-world folder. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is edit the run parameters. So I'm going to create a new mode. We're going to call this owl and press OK. And you can just turn this on. We're going to make a slight edit here because the way that this X term opens, the text is a little small. So we are going to set a variable by typing in FA, and I'm going to use Menlo as the variable. You can use monospace as well. That's also a good variable to use. And I'm going to say the font size is going to be 16. Make sure there's a space between 16 and the dash and the rest of this command. So this is the program that's going to open up whenever we're running the program that is on the command line. All right. The next thing we're going to do is actually write a very short Hello World program to make sure that the compiler and everything is working. In Pascal, the first thing at the top of every program is actually the program name, followed by a semicolon. You can't have spaces in this. And then all the code of your program is between the begin and end block, and the end that has a dot is the end of the program. So we're going to do hello world program and type in right line. I'm going to use the right line function. And unlike in JavaScript and Python, you can't use double quotes. You can only use single quotes here. So I'm going to say hello world and then close it off here. And then we're going to put a semicolon at the end. Technically, we don't need a semicolon here because there's only one line of code. It's good to just start the habit of putting semicolons at the end, because most lines or many lines are going to use semicolons at the end, because unlike Python, spaces don't matter, but like JavaScript, so that the compiler knows where the end of the statement is, there are semicolons at the end. All right, so making sure that you have the owl mode selected, you can now run this, and you can use the Dwarf 3 debugger right now. Press OK, and this opens up a window, has our hello world program. Press enter to close this window. It works, our compiler works. It compiled that program. This is just saying that the execution is finished. If you don't want this to pop up anymore every time you run a program, you can just click this. If you're okay with it popping up, you can press OK. All right, so we installed Lazarus and Free Pascal. I'm going to actually install Castle Gaming Engine in another video. In the next video, what we'll do is create some simple command line programs, similar to what we've done in the past in Python and JavaScript, so you can get familiar with the syntax differences in Pascal. So see you in the next one.